So we all know the Brooklyn Nets don't look the greatest. They're sitting at 4-6, ninth in the Eastern Conference at the time of this recording. Kyrie's not gonna be playing for the next few games at least, due to that whole situation, which we're not going to get into today. But a lot of the blame has been going on Ben Simmons and his lack of development. And I do want to touch on that because it's a sticky situation in that even though I can see the clear flaws that he's having, he's also kind of getting screwed by the situation that he's in. And let me explain that for a second. So obviously he has the same issues that he had before. He still has those aggressiveness issues. He still doesn't, have the shooting. All the same issues that he had in Philadelphia pretty much carried over to Brooklyn, and we're strictly talking about on court here. All of those pretty much carried over to Brooklyn, and he's pretty much the same player that he was, as far as we know, at least from what we've seen on the court. When people talk about him, a lot of people are looking at his fouls and his defense, and like he's fouled out of this many games and clearly showing that he's not a good defender. And I feel like he's getting screwed in that aspect because due to the Nets' lack of a center or a true center outside of Nicholas Claxton, who albeit is a solid player, but isn't really what you're looking for when you're guarding those bigger guys like an Embiid, a Giannis, or anybody like that. And considering the fact that Ben Simmons' one weakness defensively is those more physical players, when you're trying to put him in a situation to succeed and then you don't have that center play that you need to guard those bigger guys, you end up by proxy sticking your best defender, which is Ben Simmons, on those bigger guys. And what happens is that he accumulates those fouls because he's trying to bet his best to defend them, but he just doesn't have the strength because he's more of a perimeter and not a post defender. He's more of a versatile perimeter defender, more like a 1 through 4, not really meant to guard bigger 4s or 5s. And although I'm not trying to, act like, his weaknesses don't matter, because obviously that's a weakness that you want to improve on. Any weakness that you have in your game, you want to improve on. Although his weaknesses are still there, the Nets are also putting him in a really bad spot because of their roster construction. So it's not really fair to put all of the blame on him when he's not really in a position to succeed. Like for something like the Sixers, he was in a position to succeed, or as good of a position to succeed as they could have put him in, and he still faltered. That's fair criticism. But in this Nets situation, he's not in a position to where he can, even with his flaws, he can't really show the full extent of what he's capable of due to the fact that their roster is not constructed in the best way to suit his strengths or really anybody's strengths on that team. It's a very strange roster, which leads me to my next point, because when you look at this roster, obviously you have Kevin Durant, you have Kyrie Irving, who hasn't been playing, you have Joe Harris, who's come back, and I think he's looked pretty solid. I haven't watched too much of that, but you have all these different guys, and you don't really have a true big center. Watanabe's look good, but you haven't had a true big center, so maybe they start experimenting with like full-time playing Ben Simmons at the 5. I don't know if they've done that before, because then again, I've watched a good amount of Nets, but not lately, and I know Ben Simmons has been injured. Maybe they start playing him at the 5, because if you're not going to have that strength in the middle, you might as well have the versatility. And I know someone like Nicholas Claxton is like a better shot blocker and rim protector than Ben Simmons is, and that's why you have him out there at the 5, which makes perfect sense. But at the same time, if you're not gonna he's still gonna struggle against those bigger players, maybe less than Ben Simmons, which is why they're starting him. But I would say if you're not gonna have a way to have that strength down low, you might as well have the versatility. Probably not gonna happen, but it would be kind of cool to see Ben Simmons at the 5 and have see how much switchability they could have defensively. Maybe that will help mitigate their struggles a little bit. That's all I got for you guys today. Just wanted to talk about the Nets a little bit. Ben Simmons being treated a little unfairly. If you enjoyed, please leave a like, comment down below, subscribe, hit the notification button if you enjoyed this, you want to see more content from me. And I'm out. Peace.